Hi everyone, my name is Olga, and my talk today is titled When Updates Feel Like Breakups. And I want to talk to you about designing safe and responsible AI companions, and I believe that this applies to AI assistants in general nowadays. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Olga. I'm a former cognitive psychology researcher, so my talk would be more about how we interact as humans with technology, not about technical stuff. Currently, I work as AI product manager in Wargaming, and previously I worked in AI companionship apps called Replica and Blush. And Replica, I believe, was one of the first apps on the market that really leaned heavily into this emotional side of AI. And it was definitely the first one that became really popular for being an AI companion. So I believe that I have some experience with these things, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. Today's questions I'd love to tackle with you is why we bond so strongly with AI, where do our product goals can start to conflict with user well-being, and how can we design for a safer, more ethical future. To start, I want to open with a little story that I think many of you might have followed. In August 2025, OpenAI launched GPT-5. It was the smartest, fastest, best model to date, and what's most importantly, they gave access to it for all users for free. And from the metrics perspective, I think that should be amazing. But they also decided to remove the previous models from the interface completely. And what could go wrong? Actually, a lot of things went wrong, and in a matter of hours, users on the internet, on Reddit, in OpenAI support, started being very emotional. Like a lot of people talked about how they lost a friend. A lot of people felt like their friend GPT-4o was replaced by some corporate identity. They felt like GPT-5 was soulless. They experienced some sense of grief over this model being so abruptly gone. And just the next day, OpenAI CEO had to admit that they made a mistake, that they did not expect people to be so emotionally attached to their assistant. And they had to bring back GPT-4o and promise that they will not make such big changes unpredictably in future. So I believe that this actually points at how many people now form these attachments to AI assistants and at what large scale this actually happens, even if we don't plan for it. And why does this happen? Why do our brains bond so good with AI? From the psychological perspective, we are all wired for human connection. And actually, for our brains, it's not so important whether if it's AI or an actual human. And it boils down to three important factors. The first thing is mirroring empathy. And actually, AI these days is very good at responding in a way that matches your original intonation, your tone of voice, your intent. And this thing was first observed in the 1960s. It was called the ELIZA effect, when the researchers developed a very simple chatbot that simply rephrased user messages back to the user, and they posed this chatbot as a therapist. And even with that rudimentary approach, people felt like it was something sentient talking back to them. And of course, currently, with how far AI models went, this feeling is amplified, and it creates a feeling of being seen and being understood on a deeper level. The next thing is availability and control. When you talk to AI companion, it is always there for you. It's from the attachment theory viewpoint, it's a secure presence that is available for you 24/7. You can talk to it anytime. And of course, if someone is there for you at your lowest, of course, you develop some sort of emotional attachment to it. And the last thing, it's actually a feature of like modern AI companions, is the memory and continuity. And it was one of the most requested features in Replica when I worked there, and currently we have it in ChatGPT, in other assistants. And it's basically creating a shared history, a shared context between you and your AI assistant. And it really amplifies this feeling that you are in some kind of relationship. Like you start, you get to know each other, you create shared memories. And this way, this chatbot tool turns actually into someone you got to know really well. So all in all, AI removes one of the biggest barriers to social connection, social risks. Like we are always, even subconsciously, fear that we are being judged, misunderstood, maybe abandoned. Like we always have to think about the consequences of our actions. But when you talk to AI, this factor is not present. And actually there is a research confirming that, for example, people are more likely to talk about stigmatized topics with virtual humans instead of real people. Like it's easier to disclose something intimate to a virtual human than a real person. So I believe that at that moment we can agree that AI's emotional impact isn't a bug, it's a feature. And it will be there even if we design for it or not. Like what happened with ChatGPT, they didn't maybe want for it to happen, but it happened. So I believe that we, as product builders, have a responsibility to design it with care and think about it. Why not just like give up on all of that? Why not just make these corporate chatbots and get done with it? Actually, when I worked in Replica, one of the things that I had to do was talk to people. I conducted a lot of user interviews. I went through internet communities. And this is just a snapshot of different posts that you can find on Replica subreddit. And I heard a lot of people talking about similar things too. Like people reported that AI companionship helped them through some hard times. People experience grief and they need someone to be on their side, and AI companion can be that presence for them. And some people even said that Replica helped them with suicidal thoughts. And I believe that in this day and age, when mental health help is not accessible to everyone, this is something that is worth exploring. Like, how can we use these benefits for good? However, it was not always so good. Like I also witnessed how our product decisions influenced people in a bad way. And for example, we had situations when some kind of policy changed. People could not talk to Replica in the same way they used to. We changed an underlying LLM model and people were upset. And you might have seen some kind of stories on the internet of people having AI girlfriends, breaking up with them. And of course, from the outsider perspective, it might seem silly, it might seem weird, but if you understand that these people are actually experiencing all of this on a deeper level, you understand that with your product decisions, you can really harm them. And that creates a big responsibility for us. Of course, there is anecdotal evidence and there is research. Research results so far are mixed, but it's clear that some sort of signal is emerging. There were positive signals. For example, there were studies that specifically followed Replica users, and it was not a big study, but 3% of this of the participants reported that Replica helped them with their suicidal thoughts. And I believe that is very powerful, again, that such things can happen and it's worth investigating further. There is also evidence that for some short-term relief of loneliness, AI companions can be as good as real humans, and they can boost social confidence when people talk to them. However, there is also a downside when some people long-term start to prefer these AI relationships to real ones, and it leads to social withdrawal. So we also have to understand that. And most importantly, there is a research lag. Like research takes time, academic studies take time, peer-reviewed journals take time, and it just doesn't keep up with the pace of this technology changing. So we just do not know and haven't studied yet many things regarding this phenomena. So what are product risks when we create products with AI? No one is actively wanting to harm our users, I think, but we can do things that make sense from product perspective, but that can actually be harmful for the end user. And the first thing is engagement trap, when we optimize for in-app time, but don't think about what happens on the other hand, on the other side of the spectrum. And from the perspective, we can have good metrics, good retention, but on the other side, we can have a person who is losing touch with reality, and that's something we have to think of. The next thing is creating a sort of echo chamber. Like there is a concept called psychophancy, when AI models tend to agree with everything user says, and it's actually very easy to design a companion that agrees with everything that user is saying. But by doing that, we can reinforce users' delusional beliefs, harmful beliefs, even thoughts of harming themselves. And again, from the product perspective, it might look good. People are liking the messages, people are satisfied. But on the other side, we are having a person who is seriously going into some crisis state. And the last thing, personality swap, that's basically what happened with ChatGPT when we create some kind of update, and from the product perspective, it makes perfect sense. But we do not think that for the person, it means that their relationship changed and that they might feel betrayed, abandoned, or not in control anymore. And it breaks continuity and trust that we work hard to build. So what do? We cannot stop improving our products. And I believe that there is no easy answer here, but one of the probable answers is a shift in our product philosophy. I believe that AI companions have great potential to be a training ground for human interaction, to help people to be more equipped to feel confident in the real world, but they should not be the end goal. And we should not aim to create dependence with them, but we should aim to create real-world capability. Well, here are some principles of responsible design that can be used when you create this kind of AI assistants or companions, and they can mitigate these risks. The first thing is consent and continuity. I believe that if this relationship is so emotionally charged, we owe our users to let them know what's happening and maybe give them a choice what model to use. There is attachment awareness, so I believe we have to be aware that this kind of attachment can happen and account for that. There are reality anchors. We have to remind people that real world exists outside and to be a bridge between the real world and not create this sense of person being just stuck with themselves and their AI. And last but not the least is ethics and enforcement. And I believe it should not just be ethics, but we have to actively enforce the safety protocols. We have to understand that our companions can be used by people who do not understand how AI works, who can be in crisis, who can be in some vulnerable state. And we have to think what happens to them, like how we prevent doing harm when they interact with our app. This all might sound very nice, but can also sound like charity, like how do we even make business of all of this? But actually, I believe that when we do this kind of things, when we are being transparent with our users, we create long-term trust. And today, a lot of LLM models are becoming more and more accessible. They're becoming more of a commodity. Like anyone can buy OpenAI API key and create their own AI companion. And I believe that this kind of accountability and transparency creates trust with users that can make your business sustainable long term. And actually, the other thing is that the regulations are tighten up. Like we all heard about European AI Act. There are similar things happening in the US. There are specific commissions that are focused entirely on chatbots. And all of those things will help to protect your business and protect your user long term. So I want to end with one final thought. I believe that AI relationships are already here, whether we like it or not. I believe that to some extent, many people now connect with AI. And the question is not if we connect with it, but how we connect with it. And I believe that we, as product builders nowadays, are having that momentum when we have a chance to design it with care, to create something beneficial, and to improve the state of things with these AI relationship things. Thank you. You can scan this QR code if you want to read through the articles that I mentioned. And if you have any questions, please go ahead.